Hello everybody, it's Lazel here with another video. Yesterday we played Fortress War and I was going for some solo action there and I got a few very cool reports and I'd like to share them with you. So the first one was actually pretty funny because I was not that buffed up and I went for fortress by myself and the opponents left the fortress, so I landed there and then they counterattacked, and that came actually to that defense here, and it was a very funny one. So our opponents attacked with tier 11 at some point and also came in with some tier 12. And the replay is actually very funny because at the start I was just sending cavalry and my angels, and the report is just very funny to watch in my opinion. It just shows how awesome cavalry works as soon as you have the right technology. Currently I'm at dodge level 3 and I also have quite a bit of reduced damage from mages. Currently I'm at around about 66%. You have to also calculate the passive skill of tier 13 cavalry that reduces damage from archers, the Colossus skill itself and some zodiacs and stuff like that. So I'm also at around about 40% of reduced damage from archers. So this was already a very fun one to watch for me, and also to experience it just being in a castle, getting attacked by multiple opponents and being able to do something with the troop combination that I was working on for so long. The next one was an attack of mine and I went for a fortress that was occupied by our opponents. I also sent only cavalry plus angels, and this is what came out of it. At the start it looked very good for me because these 5 opponents that were shown in the report came over time by reinforcements, and at the start if it would have stayed like that I'm sure that I would have won, but sadly the opponents joined with some more angels, some more basic troops and stuff like that, so I wanted to repeat this process, so I retreated there, but still the kill and loss difference or wounded difference is still very good. So our opponents played with some tier 12, some tier 11, here also some tier 12 and tier 11 here, and tier 12 up to probably tier 11 here too. So, and the last one, yeah, tier 10 here. Alright, so the next one was my personal favorite for this run. Here I also sent a few mages because I was also constantly buffing up from the Fortress War scrolls that you can use for buffs in army size and so on. So you can see that my cavalry HP went up to above 300% and that my angel attack was at 270%. Also nice kill count by the lightning ball from the Cadet Witch, and let's check the replay. So it started with no angels by our opponent and mostly mages, so a big advantage for my huge reduced damage from mages. And you can see that Cadet Witch is also doing some nice work, and my cavalry is just sitting there taking it, but doing it very well in my opinion. And the Sacred Flame from the angels just very strong. You can see the damage that is coming in. Also interesting to see, depending on if your cavalry runs to the left, the opponent's troops don't always follow them, they just look for a new target, but overall a great report in my opinion. Now we come to the last one, and that is more of a fun one. So I was only sending cavalry and sadly the opponent only had backline units. So this is how the report looks like. And my cavalry was just going straight forward to the backline and just reducing them very fast. So that was more of a fun one, but I was interested in sending just cavalry to see what they are capable of. Sure, you cannot really compare tier 13 to tier 11 units, but in this report I was also mostly sending tier 10 and tier 11. With the cavalry buffs and everything aside of that, it just turned out great, and I had a lot of fun with producing these reports. Just earlier I also had a very cool Star Runes report where I fought against a player that had round about 47k more troops and was also playing with just tier 13 mainly, a very strong infantry focused castle, great technology by our opponent. And also, if you see, for example, a huge count of infantry HP, we were mostly better in angel attack and some other stats, but also our opponent had a great Mystic College, just full focus on his troop combination. I really respect that, and it was a close one, but it was also very fun to watch. I again sent only cavalry and angels, and this is how it turned out. So I go 2 times. And it was really a close one, but our opponent has some very good technology there. So now I will slow this down. You can see that my cavalry lasted very long, and I can't wait to research even more levels of the dodge mechanic. Also go for some Savage Impact to unlock the ability and just be even more stronger. It feels so good to invest all of the Azeroth now into Mystic College, since I'm currently recruiting and promoting tier 13 units. That just increases my count and makes me very strong in events like especially Fortress War, where you also need a very high troop count to keep playing constantly. These were a few reports of yesterday's Fortress War. I hope you enjoyed them, and then I would say see you in the next video. Goodbye, guys.